It is difficult not to keep taking pictures, even on a simple walk to the Venice train station, so we can depart to our next location, Florence. Everything is so interesting architecturally, historically, and aesthetically. While at the train station, we ran into these two. Remember Amber? My husband, Beto, spent time talking to her and her family on the water bus. This is her sister Ray and daughter Ella. We kept running into their family all over Venice, and now at the train station before we left. It was great seeing them one last time, and we were pretty sure we wouldn't see them in Florence, being that it was so much larger with so many more people. Sophia kept saying how nice they were, and she hoped we'd see them again. The ride to Florence was comfortable and relatively quick. At 210 kilometers per hour, it only took a couple hours. Because we packed lightly, it was easy to move around to where we needed to be.
What are we doing, Lee?
We're waiting for our tram
To our hotel?
to the hotel.
Perfect. Actually, it's a tram to take us to the stop where the shuttle comes from the hotel. Well, this is the view from our hotel room.
It's very city-like.
And this is modern part of Florence. Obviously, there's some English speakers here because there's a football stadium down there. Maybe for high school, and it says protect this house.
Don't give Mom any ideas.
We had the hotel shuttle drop us off near an area we wanted to explore, and we thought, wow, no crowds. We thought we arrived during the off-season. Then we turned a corner.
So much for the off-season.
Well, no matter. We were here to experience Florence, and our first stop was Ponte Vecchio, the old bridge.
Oh, Ponte Vecchio standing grand, the jewel of this golden land.
This is one of Florence's most iconic landmarks. Originally built in 1345, this remarkable stone bridge has spanned the Arno River for nearly 7 centuries. In its early days, the bridge was lined with butchers, tanners, and blacksmiths whose waste often spilled into the river below. But in the 16th century, Duke Ferdinando I de' Medici transformed it, replacing those trades with goldsmiths and jewelers to elevate its prestige and scent. During World War II, as German forces retreated from Florence, every bridge in the city was destroyed except the Ponte Vecchio. Legend says it was spared on Hitler's personal order, preserving a priceless piece of history. Today, visitors like us stroll across the bridge, much as they did centuries ago, enchanted by its sparkling jewelry shops, romantic views, and golden sunset reflections over the Arno. The Ponte Vecchio remains not just a bridge, but a living symbol of Florence's resilience, artistry, and timeless beauty.
In warm ethereal light, Florence calling, strong and true. My heart belongs forever to you.
Next, we visited the Piazza della Signoria. For centuries, this square has been the center of political power, celebration, and civic pride, standing before the grand Palazzo Vecchio. When we first entered the piazza, the striking bronze masterpiece of Benvenuto Cellini's Perseus, with the head of Medusa, welcomed us as he triumphantly held the serpent-haired head. Pio Fedi's The Rape of Polixena captures Achilles seizing his captive, surrounded by swirling motion and anguish. Outside the loggia, in front of the Museo di Palazzo Vecchio, stands Hercules and Cacus, muscular and fierce, by Bandinelli. The square also proudly displays a replica of Michelangelo's David, standing where the original once watched over the Republic. Back beneath the Loggia dei Lanzi, Giambologna's Rape of the Sabine woman spirals upward in breathtaking movement, capturing the drama and emotion of human struggle. Neptune's Fountain, with its towering marble sea god by Amannati, celebrates Florence's maritime ambitions. Together, these masterpieces make Piazza della Signoria a historic square open-air museum where every statue tells the story of Florence's glory, resilience, and artful soul. Leaving the Piazza della Signoria took us down several narrow Florentine streets, and we found ourselves in the heart of Florence's leather district. So of course, we had to stop and visit some shops to see if anything begged us to take it home. It was easy to see who these shops mostly catered to, but they did have some uniquely interesting designs.
So when you're done sinning, spending gluttonous money, you can go to church. Michelangelo leather collection, made for tourists. What do you think there, Lily?
The leather trade in Florence began centuries ago when tanners set up their workshops on the Ponte Vecchio and along the Arno River and used its waters to prepare hides and slowly build a reputation for some of the finest leather in Europe.
These are actually kind of a neat design.
Di qua sono belli fatti, poi le posso fatti designer. This designer è astrolabio astronomica.
This is a big store.
After our leather shopping adventure, we made our way toward the Piazzale Michelangelo, which was more than a mile away.
We just jaywalked so we can get up to Piazzale Michelangelo.
It was getting close to sunset and we wanted to view the Florentine landscape as the golden rays cast its final light of the day on the buildings. Needless to say, we were not the only ones seeking to finish our day with one of the most iconic views in all of Italy. The next day, we had tickets to see one of the most iconic sculptures in Florence, the statue of David by Michelangelo. We made our way to the Galleria dell'Accademia di Firenze, and when I saw how long the line was and how many people were waiting to do the same thing, I was glad we got the skip-the-line tickets. And wouldn't you know it, amongst the many places we could have been within the thousands of people in Florence, we ran into our new friends from Venice.
All right, so this is actually video.
Do you mind taking a picture for us? Yes, of course. Yeah.
You want me to take?
Yes, we just talked about it at breakfast.
You could be in it too.
I'm not going to see them. I
Just
think.
wanted
I know
to
it's going to be at the museum.
Taking a video
Oh,
put on
hello.
YouTube, so I'll send you guys a link.
Oh,
Okay?
yeah. That's so cool. Hello.
Can you see the David?
Oh my gosh. I'm like,
Sophia and Lee were right. They knew we'd see them again.
What do you think, Lee?
It's good to be back.
The Galleria dell'Accademia in Florence was established in 1784. Originally envisioned as a teaching museum, it gradually grew into one of Florence's most important cultural institutions. But everything changed in 1873 when Michelangelo's David, already a symbol of Florentine pride, was moved indoors to protect it from weather and unrest. To showcase this masterpiece, the Accademia constructed the breathtaking Tribuna, a soaring domed hall designed specifically to frame the sculpture. The long, straight corridor leading into the Tribuna works like a visual crescendo, guiding viewers toward David. Soft, natural illumination from above highlights every chiseled detail, enhancing the sense that he stands both human and divine. The high vaulted ceiling amplifies his size and draws the eye upward, mirroring the statue's vertical power.
What do you think? It's pretty cool, huh? That thing is giant.
it's massive.
It's taller than I remember.
Well, you're back with David. What do you think?
It's like Jack Skeleton. Oh,
Yeah. If you get as close as you can, then you can.
In this carefully crafted space, Michelangelo's David doesn't just appear impressive, he becomes monumental and remains one of the greatest achievements in the history of art. The Gipsoteca Bartolini is a luminous hall within the Galleria dell'Accademia, and it feels like you're entering Lorenzo Bartolini's private universe. Created as a teaching space for the Academy of Fine Arts, this 19th century gallery is filled with hundreds of exquisite plaster casts and studies of ancient sculptures that were once the essential training tools for young artists, revealing anatomy, proportion, and perfection. Today, the Gypsoteca stands as a silent archive of artistic process, an immersive journey into how great sculpture is studied, taught, and ultimately brought to life. Since Sofia is learning the double bass and I am taking violin lessons, we found the musical instrument museum section of the Galleria very interesting. Sofia really liked the viola da gamba and the violone, precursors to her double bass. Incredibly well preserved were the 17th century pianos by Bartolomeo Cristofori, the actual inventor of the piano. And of course, we didn't miss the exquisitely decorated violins crafted by Antonio Stradivari himself, each one a masterpiece of sound and artistry. In this museum, every instrument is not just an object, it's a voice echoing across centuries.
What do you think, Sophie Love? Your favorite's the bass? I'm not shocked about that.
After our museum visit, I was ready for a little gelato. So my dad found us a little place where the gelato is kept cold in under the counter tins because we all know that's the best gelato.
Time for a little gelato. Okay, what do you have there, Lee?
Pistachio gelato. And this is the good kind. See, it's in those aluminum bins, not
What kind do you have, Sophia?
Chocolate.
That's good. And I have fragola, strawberry.
We were very excited to see the Duomo because it is part of one of the most famous cathedrals in the world, the Santa Maria del Fiore. It is so unique with its green, white, and pink marble facade and intricate Gothic architecture full of ornate design. Every time I focused on something on the building, I found something interesting. When we got there, we had to wait in line over an hour. But of course, we expected a wait at one of the most iconic cathedrals in the world.
While I wait in line, these two rest. It's always up to me to wait in line and do everything. My dogs are barking and they don't care.
Don't let them fool you. We all took turns waiting in line and admiring the architecture of the cathedral. The line took a while, but it was well worth it. Finally, we got our chance to enter. As we step into Santa Maria del Fiore, the great Duomo, the immensity of the space takes our breath away. This masterpiece began in 1296, built to show the world the city's growing power, faith, and artistic ambition. As we walk in and look around, the massive columns seem to almost invite us and draw us in. This wasn't just built for worship. It was a symbol of Florence's identity, where religious ceremonies, civic events, and even moments of political history unfolded. As we light candles as a symbol of prayer, I imagine the generations who gathered here over the centuries, waiting for their city's skyline to be crowned with Brunelleschi's incredible dome in the 1400s. It's still the largest brick dome ever built, created with innovative engineering that no one had attempted before, layer upon layer of interlocking bricks, forming a perfect, self-supporting shell. But it's the artwork above us that truly stops me in place. I tilt my head back and stare at the immense fresco of the Last Judgment spiraling across the dome. Giorgio Vasari began it in 1572, but after his death, Federico Zuccari and his team completed it using the Buon fresco technique pigments painted directly onto wet plaster, so the colors fused with the surface as it dried. Up close, I can see the intense expression of angels and demons, the glowing robes of saints, and the swirling heavens and hells that seem alive in the lantern light.
We are going to climb this tower. And for this little bit of suffering, we get to wait in line some more.
They're taking their lunch break.
Okay, you just want to get through the line and start climbing, huh?
Yeah.
And the long climb begins. Good. I might need it.
That is cool right there.
Shall we continue? Okay, so there's more. Let's keep going. Lee's a little bit scared because she doesn't like heights. But we're gonna make it, all three of us. It's only a gazillion steps.
There's still more.
There's more? Alright. Well, there's the bell. That's not the Liberty Bell. That's the Firenze bell. No, I'm good. No, I'm good. How is it so far, Sophie Love?
It's fine. I don't feel tired.
Alright, good.
Isn't that very catchy?
Are you ready, Mama? Alright. people on top of that dome. We couldn't go because they were already full. Time for the trek down. Going up is optional, but going down is mandatory according to the laws of gravity. See you at the bottom. And we're out. Finalmente. How was it?
That's not a good sign.
Good? How was it?
The stairs were fine. The height freaks me out, but I can do the stairs.
All right, we made it. Good job.
After our long climb up and back down the Duomo's bell tower, we were ready for lunch. We were headed to Il Mercato Centrale, the central market, because there are supposed to be several interesting places to eat there. On our way, we ended up walking through the Mercato Nuovo, Florence's leather street vendors offering everything from bags and belts to souvenirs. Unlike retail leather stores, these vendors are known for their haggling prowess. We were warned by some other shop owners to be careful when buying here because not everything here is real leather. But no matter, we enjoyed the stroll and looking at everything they had to offer. Once we arrived at Mercato Centrale, we were sadly disappointed as they just closed at 2 p.m. Since Italians don't eat again until around 7 or 8 p.m. They typically close eating establishments.
Always closed. The mercato è chiuso. The market is closed.
And we couldn't seem to get the timing right for when to eat.
The morning after 7 a.m.
Well,
But some sandwich shops did stay open for tourists.
so, because we don't have a lot of choices this time of day, we did find this little sandwich shop, and we're hoping it is fabulous. Though one of the rules here is if it's got pictures, it's probably not great and very touristy. But the prices seem to be fair, and hopefully we'll get something tasty out of it. She's cutting the meat fresh for these sandwiches, so we think it's going to be pretty awesome. At least I hope it is. It looks like a father and daughter team. Okay, Lee, what happened to our food choices today? Again.
They close right when we're ready for lunch. Everything's closed.
Yes, we forget that here they close around 2:30, 3 o'clock, so they can open back up at 8, and that's when we get hungry, is 3 o'clock. And so we go to a place that we really want to go to, and we can't get in. But that's our fault because we're not used to their eating schedule. We'll try again sooner or later. What is your judgment of that porchetta sandwich?
It's good. I had the pork. I tried the ham. I think I like the pork the best.
Really tasty. There's some kind of spice in it that's good. Some don't know how they flavored it, but it's tasty.
It's good.
Okay, well, this porchetta is supposed to be very popular here, so I'm going to try this, see what happens.
That's the exact same
It's
face
a-
you made when you ate those portions.
It's a good sandwich. They sliced the pork fresh. Perfecto. How was your sandwich?
It's pretty good.
Prosciutto and cream cheese? Prosciutto and cream cheese? That's what it was.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought it was kind of weird that they put cream cheese, but it tasted good.
Okay. After about a third of that sandwich, that is a fat sandwich and it is tasty. So. Porchetta.
As we wandered the streets after lunch, we came upon this talented singer. After spending a little time in Piazza della Repubblica, we ran into our Venetian friends again. Beto was dumbfounded, but was glad we saw them again, especially since Sophia kept hoping we'd run into them. So we decided to go to dinner.
Yeah, just so I can see that everybody that was here.
Yes, we should take a little selfie too.
Should we all say our names?
Oh, I think I might know most of you.
Renee.
Amber, Ella, Ray.
Hey, Rachel. Wow, those are fun little cameras. I remember they supposed to be that big.
After dinner, we went for a walk and then went our separate ways. And we wondered, would we run into each other again? Since we were headed to different cities from Florence, future meetings were highly unlikely. But we were glad for the time we had together.
You like night here, Mom?
I do. Florence at night is full of life and just as lovely as it is during the day. But it was a long day, and we were ready to get some rest for the next day's adventure.
Every morning in Italy, we prepared for a new adventure. Sometimes the adventure was our destination, and sometimes it was learning to use the trams and buses. We got pretty good at using Florence's public transit system. It was easy to navigate and inexpensive.
All right. Is that our bus there, Lee, that we missed?
That's our bus we missed.
That's the one. And I can understand why these little buses exist. Is because you got these small little.
Yeah, and you got lots of turns on these narrow roads.
Okay, next destination. Where are we going?
Santa Croce.
Chiesa Santa Croce. Okay.
Michelangelo.
All right.
Consecrated in 1442, Santa Croce became the principal Franciscan church of Florence. Built as a place for public preaching, reflection, and connection to everyday Florentines, the scale is striking. It's wide open and filled with light, meant to welcome large crowds. Santa Croce is a church that feels less like a single building and more like a monument to human brilliance. Over time, Santa Croce has evolved into something of a sacred resting place for the minds that shaped history. That's why it's often called the Temple of the Italian Glories. Marble tombs, sculpted reliefs, and painted ceilings layer centuries of devotion and creativity into one space. Here lies Michelangelo, the Renaissance master of sculpture, painting, and architecture, creator of David and the Sistine Chapel ceiling. Nearby is Galileo Galilei, the father of modern science, who defended the idea that the Earth moves around the sun. Niccolo Machiavelli, author of The Prince, rests here as well. His political philosophy reshaped how power and leadership are understood. Together, they represent art, science, and thought side by side. As we move through the church, art surrounds us. The frescoes by Giotto in the Bardi and Perugia chapels tell stories of St. Francis with emotional realism that changed Western art forever. Stepping into the sacristy of Santa Croce, the space feels calm and restrained stone walls, soft light, and a sense of quiet preparation. Then, as you turn and enter the Rinuccini Chapel, the experience shifts completely. The room suddenly blooms with color. Every wall is covered in vivid frescoes, wrapping you in biblical stories told through deep reds, blues, and golds. Stepping into the Medici Chapel at Santa Croce feels like entering a quiet jewel box of color and devotion. The richly painted scenes, saints, architecture, and symbolic details that seem to glow in the light. The artwork pull your eyes upward and outward, wrapping the small space in movement and meaning. We couldn't help but feel the spiritual pull as we explored all these quiet and reverent spaces.
What do you think?
Santa Croce isn't just a church, it's Florence telling the world who it is and who it gave to history.
The last room we visited at Santa Croce was the convent's former refectory. As we scan the large space, our eyes are drawn to the monumental frescoes. Christ seated at the Last Supper, calm and solemn, and above it, the tree of life, its branches spreading upward like a visual prayer, rich with saints, symbols, and deep earthy color. As we explored, Lee pointed out something unexpected, a simple vertical pole on the wall, marked with dates and lines. It silently records the heights of Florence's floods, most hauntingly 1966, turning this sacred space into a witness of both faith and fragility. Back on the outside of the church, there is no shortage of talent.
Hello. Fat pasta, yes. Gnocchi. Oh my God. All right, I think we found the best gelato in town. This pistachio is incredible, and that chocolate is awesome.
You have it?
Oh my God, that's really good. What do you think, Super Love? Yeah, that's
Pistachio is amazing.
incredible. What do you think of this place? We're on our way to pick up a car so we can drive deeper into Tuscany, headed towards Cortona. But one stop before there is the Leaning Tower of Pisa. See you there.